Hello everybody, welcome back to the Wolfeei Extras channel. Today we're going to be talking about the MCC Newcomer waitlist. It's like very rumored. The community has been talking about it a lot. I do think people don't really know what it is. So I will be talking about it. I actually need to open a document. Okay, there we go. I will be using bullet points. There's a little notepad here. On my other monitor, I have a Word document that has things in a bit more detail. I wrote this last night. Either way, I have some knowledge and some theories that I would like to share with you all. Disclaimer, none of this is a fact, or at least some things are like factually true. Not everything though. I have insider info. I will not disclose who this insider is, because I also don't remember, but it's someone that is in the event. Not one of my friends, so, well, you know, we'll see who it is. Nobody will ever find out. So yeah, let's get started. Actually, this is my second time recording. First point, the waitlist is, or at least probably was, a thing. So, the MCC waitlist makes sense, right? At least earlier MCC, like start of season 2, series 2, whatever it was called. So like last year. It makes sense that there was a waitlist. There's a lot of big streamers that want to join, a lot of Minecraft streamers, a lot of just popular streamers in general. And I mean, they can't all join at the same time. So it makes sense that they'll have to wait. What happens is, you know, when you have more demand than supply, in this case, you're going to get a queue, and that is the waitlist. Is it still that case, or is it still the case that it's a thing? Maybe. I will also get to that later. Then we get to this document. I might have shown this before. I don't know if I have. Either way, this is a community like whitelist spreadsheet hosted by MC bunch of numbers and Cerise Hood, who I think are both Reddit users or like very active members in the community. Either way, they've compiled a lot of info here, and I will be talking about it because I think I might know some answers and see if this is true. The waitlist can be full, maybe, probably. I don't think that's the case now. I will get to that later as well, maybe next year, but I don't think it's the case anymore. Like I said, maybe at the start of season 2 or end of season 1, because obviously there's a lot of cool people that wanted to join. And I mean, once you have like 20 names, for example, I don't think it's necessary to add people unless like PewDiePie wants to join. But yeah, so it could be full, maybe, or at least was it full at some point? Maybe, possibly. I know there's a source. I'm pretty sure it's a snifferish tweet where they, I don't know what their pronouns are, say that it was full. That's probably true. I know Booster also was declined because the waitlist was full. I don't think that's true. I'm sorry, Booster. I just think Scott didn't want to say no. I don't think it was full at that point. Actually, we'll get to that later as well. You have to contact Scott. He doesn't contact you. Kind of true. So, to ask to be on the wait, or to get on the wait list, you have to ask. But to get into the event, you don't always have to ask. And that brings me to bullet point number 2. You don't need to be on the wait list to join MCC. Now, this is a very big misconception I've seen on Reddit, especially recently, with, I mean, my friend, Fire Breathman, as a prime example. I think, yeah, I do have an image. This is MCC 27. These are the teams. Everyone that is surrounded with a yellow border is a newcomer who has never played MCC before. Cyan border is, they've played before, but in a non-canon event. I've explained it before, I think, in another second channel video. Either way, yellow border means newcomer. Now, when you look at the newcomers, you notice a very interesting quote-unquote trend. The majority of them are very big streamers, some of which aren't really Minecraft streamers. Actually, most of which aren't really Minecraft streamers. The only 3 are Shane, BOO, and Impulse, who happen to all be on purple. And Shane, obviously, the smallest out of all the newcomers, I think, by quite a decent amount. Regardless, I know Shane very well. We talk a lot. We talk every single day, basically. He was never on the waitlist. He was not on the waitlist. I can confirm that he was never on the MCC waitlist. And it also doesn't make sense for all these people that joined to have been on the waitlist. There was a clip of Saikuno talking to Mi Young, or Katamina, who is on green, asking if she's interested in playing in an event. It is this one. And she probably said yes. Was she on the waitlist? No. She never asked to join the main event. Never was on the waitlist. James Marriott, I don't know. He might have been on the waitlist. I don't think so. James doesn't seem like someone who would want to really play in regular MCCs that much, because if you've seen the Tom Unit video, he is not very good at Minecraft. I think he's hilarious as a person, but Minecraft is not his thing. So this makes sense that he plays in this. Toast, if Toast wanted to join MCC, he would be in within like 3 events. It's disguised Toast. Maybe the same with the other 3. I know that team is like a very specific group of 4. I think it was like a Fall Guys thing. I don't know. Shane told me about it. I don't remember what it was exactly. But it doesn't make sense for all these people that are being added to have been, to have been on the waitlist. BOO, I'm pretty sure, literally said before that he didn't want to play in MCC, or at least in the regular MCC, because he didn't want to disappoint his teammates. I think, obviously, he's great as like a person. I think he would be very fun in MCC. I think he might have a misconception of how competitive people actually are. I feel like certain players probably would be fine with it. Regardless, the only person who I think was maybe on the waitlist is Impulse. That one's still a little bit of a gray area to me, because we'll get to that as well. But like I said, you don't have to be on the waitlist to join the event. Fire Breath Man is the prime example. Here you go. He was never on the waitlist. He, I think, got invited, if I had to guess, like 4 days before his team got announced. He said something about getting a DM from Scott's Major on, I think it was Twitter. Before opening it, he told me that he got a DM. That was probably his MCC invite, if I had to guess. So yeah, that is that. Oh, wrong tab. This one. You have to fill out a form to be added to the list. Active players can send it to the... I have no idea. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. I would like to think that it's true, because I think that's more professional, but I don't know if that's true. I have no way to confirm that, because I don't think I have talked to anyone who is on the... Actually, I have talked to anyone who... No, I haven't talked to anyone who joined the waitlist and then told me what the waitlist or how it worked. So I have no idea if that's true. You can be on the waitlist for over 2 years. Maybe. I don't know. I think the source is like from JoJo. I know JoJo asked to be in MCC 1, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know if... I don't think JoJo is actually on the waitlist, because realistically, if you think about it, there were probably... I know there were a lot of substitutes in early MCC. There was probably a situation where JoJo would have been a very good substitute option. I just don't think Scott remembered that JoJo asked, if I had to guess. Also, because it is very interesting timing that someone like JoJo and Blushy, both after playing in Rising and All-Stars, joined regular MCC pretty much around the same time. I know it's not the exact same event, but it's like around the same time. I think it was like 1 or 2 events in between. It's a bit interesting that both of them joined at the same time, right? Even though JoJo supposedly was on the waitlist for 2 years. I don't think she was. I could be wrong. I just don't think she was. It doesn't really make sense. Testers that have tested since MCC R1 won't be allowed in the event. Testers before that are allegedly allowed, but seem unlikely at this point in time. Well, with Shane joining MCC 27, that obviously shows that before MCC R1 is at least fine now. I think the testing rules about joining MCC have been changed. Either way, anyone who left testing or who only tested before MCC R1 never tested afterwards is eligible, which is like me, Shane, Mysticat, and a Magician, and Ameston. From what I remember, there's probably some people who played before who could be in because they're consecrators, but I have no idea. I think it's been updated now that you can join MCC a year after leaving testing. I could be wrong. I have a lot of friends in testing who I talk to pretty regularly. I think that's the rule now. I have no clue if that was allowed to be said publicly, but you know, that's it is what it is. That's what I was told. I think that's the rule now. You can be denied to join the waitlist. That is probably true. Funnily enough, for anyone wondering, I have DM'd Scott's Major before I have DM'd him very recently to be a substitute for MCC 27 because with Shane being invited so few days before his team got announced, I feel like they were lacking players. I might have actually put this on a point somewhere. Oh, that's the final thing on my bullet points list. Yeah, I thought they might be lacking players. I offered Scott. I was like, hey, if you need any subs, I'm interested. He did not respond, which I don't know if he's done that before. By the way, I DM'd him on Discord. I have him on Discord. I don't know if that's happened before. He might not be aware that I'm a content creator. I have no idea. But yeah, he didn't respond, which is fine. I'll just try and MCC Rising, I guess. Maybe he'll know from that. But yeah, you can be denied. Probably. I think the boost, for example, is him being denied. I just think it's sugar-coated in a way that Scott lied, maybe. It could have been, the waitlist could have been full. I think I also talk about that in a later point. The waitlist could have been full, but I don't know. I'm not sure. And that is that for this list. That is Xiphon. Oh, that is my next point. That is over here. You can be taken off of the waitlist, and some people have been. If I remember correctly, my friend Xiphon was on the MCC waitlist at some point, I think in early MCC. At least that is what I was told by, I think, one of Xiphon's friends. I don't know if it's accurate, but that is what I've been told. Xiphon didn't really didn't really become like a big content creator anymore, or they didn't really. She didn't really grow much after asking. I assume it's just more like I think Scott probably just had a lot of very big streamers that wanted to join, like Dream and whatever. As iPhone probably got lost in the sauce there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure people can be removed from the waitlist. Actually, let me go back to this. Because also, someone that probably got removed, or maybe was never on the waitlist, I have no idea, is Wolfeei. Wolfeei here is rumored to have been on the waitlist maybe when Sneeg also asked to join the waitlist. I have no idea if it's accurate or true, but that is what this says. If Wolfeei were to be on the waitlist, he has probably been taken off of it. But that is my theory. I have no idea if it's true, but it is possible to be taken off the waitlist, as proven by Xiphon. What is this? Oh, Scott. Some players probably lost interest and left the waitlist. For example, Lachlan. Now, realistically, right, you got to think about this together with me. Do you think if Lachlan were to have joined the waitlist. I'm pretty sure this was a clip from the break between MCC season 1 and season 2, which is like start of 2021. Do you really think that if someone like Lachlan was on the waitlist at that point in time, that he would still not be in, even if he was still on the waitlist? I don't think so. That makes no sense. So I think he probably lost interest and left the waitlist, or maybe he was also removed from the waitlist, if he was even on the waitlist at any point in time. Because I can't find a source. I haven't checked. But yeah, if he was on the waitlist, he either probably lost interest and left, or got removed. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. The waitlist is probably empty until the end of 2022. Now, this is a very interesting point, and I will be using... hi, Scott. I will be using the most recent MCCs as an example. This is from my insider source. It was a while ago that I was told this. I think I was told this, like, maybe around MCC 23, 24. Either way, I was told from one of my friends who has contacts with the supposed insider source that the waitlist is empty. Now, that is notable from the lack of newcomers in the most recent 3 MCCs, excluding MCC 27. As you can see here, MCC 24, 2 newcomers, Han XX Rose and Ant Venom. 2 newcomers who, in my opinion, made a lot of sense to be added, but did kind of feel like some of the last people to be added to MCC, or the last, like, no-brainer picks, right? I know Hannah was rumored to join for such a long time. I'm pretty sure for like 10 straight MCCs, she was mentioned as like the next person to join, or like 5 maybe. So it made a lot of sense for her to join. Ant Venom, I think, also has been rumored to join for a long time. I was actually involved with Ant Venom joining. I don't think that can be disclosed very much further, but I was involved. I basically knew he was joining. I never was told Ant Venom's joining MCC 24, but I think 3 months prior to MCC 24, or like sometime before, I think it was early, when MCC came back in 2022, sorry. Somewhere around that time, I forwarded a message from someone to one of Ant Venom's contacts to tell Ant Venom that he should ask Scott's Major to join. Three events later-ish, he joined. So, you know, I knew. I was involved. Either way, next MCC, there is only one newcomer. Kind of a newcomer. It was Velvet. I do think that counts as a newcomer, because Velvet had only played one MCC before, which was MCC Pride 2022, which is a non-canon event, which to me still counts as a newcomer, but some people may argue that that he wasn't a newcomer. Only one newcomer, and it was Velvet, who also felt like one of the later options to join the event, and it made a lot of sense. Obviously, because he has a lot of contacts. Same with Hannah and Ant Venom. They know a lot of people. It made a lot of sense. MCC 26, no newcomers. I think the compensation here was that Slimesicle returned after like a while. I think the last time he played before this was like Christmas of 2021. So that was, you know, there were no newcomers. So yeah. Now, you could argue that MCC 27 was, or at least some people may think MCC 27 was compensation of newcomers. That is my final point. I don't think that's the case. And it makes sense. Oh yeah, back to the point. The waitlist is probably empty until the end of 2022, and that makes sense. If you keep adding people to the waitlist, eventually you're going to have a massive list, possibly of names that you don't actually really want to add to the event, or that Scott might not be interested in actually putting into the event. And what could happen is that some players might get stuck on the wait list, because if you keep them on the list and you continually add and add and add people to it who are maybe potentially bigger than them, let's say like Fire Breathman, right, as the person on the list. Let's say there's like the entirety of like Cyan here. Let's say they get added and like all the other newcomers get added and added. It makes so much sense for those newcomers to join before Fire Breathman, because I don't think it's based on like time to join. Rambu, by the way, Rambu joined in MCC 15, I think it was, which was June of 2021. He only started making content in September of 2020, I'm pretty sure. I think he asked to join a month after he basically started, because he grew like insanely fast. But I think if you look at the timeline, it took like 3 events for him to join. And that, to me, looks very biased. So yeah, my next point, it is very biased. I wrote it down here, and that is basically all I can say about it. If you're good friends with Scott, you'll get in sooner. If you're a big streamer, you'll get in sooner. If you're both, you'll get in very, very quickly. Do I have an example? Maybe Rambu. I actually don't think he was friends with Scott. He might have been. I don't really have an example for this. I did not prepare an example, but that is probably the case, if I have to guess. And that brings me to my final point. MCC 27 newcomers were not compensation for the lack of newcomers in previous events. My theory, or at least basing it off of what I know, with Fire Breathman, right, joining or being selected to play in MCC 27 only a few days before the teams got announced, gives me the impression that they probably were lacking players. I assume they asked a bunch of people, but just a lot of them couldn't make it, or something like that. And also, they probably didn't pick MCC Rising or Jingle Jam players because of balancing and compatibility. Even though some players, like, I think I have him as a, there you go, Heike Hate Me, would probably work fine in MCC 27. Picking one MCCR player leads to other MCCR players wondering why they couldn't play. You could imagine that, let's say, Bilzo, maybe, yeah, actually, I think Ollie or Heike Hate Me is a better example. You can imagine that if Heike Hate Me gets picked to be in, maybe someone like Nestorio or Speed Silver or one of the players from the Cyan team might be like, why did he get picked and not me? Because I think all the people I mentioned are technically bigger than him, than Ollie or Heike Hate Me. I think they're technically bigger than him. I could be wrong, but you can imagine that they're like, this isn't fair. This is, this shouldn't be, it should have been, me, or not me. It should have been them instead of Heike Hate Me. That's like one reason why I think they didn't pick anyone from Rising. And I think that's the same case with why there probably won't be a special non-English team, like a Spanish team or French or whatever, right? And I think that's because once you open up the opportunity for non-English teams once, other languages or other people who speak a different language will want the same treatment. If you allow a Spanish team one time, people like French streamers or like a French team or a Chinese team or whatever, for some reason I cannot think of any other languages, German, I guess. People who speak that language and they can make a team together might be wondering, well, why can't we be in? And, if you were to want to add them, it just keeps increasing the problems. Because let's say you allow a Spanish team and then you allow a French team another time, then maybe the German team, who maybe Scott's not interested in having them, is going to be like, what the hell? Or once you have the Spanish team once, maybe they'll want to play again, but then you give that special treatment to the Spanish team again, and then other languages are going to be like, what the hell? Why are we not allowed to play? So that's my thoughts. I think that's all I have. I don't. Let's end it on the picture of Scott. I don't remember why I put him on here. Thank you all for watching. I'm looking at my recording. It says I've been recording for 25 minutes. I might cut this down a little, but we'll see. Maybe not. But thank you all for watching, and that is Wolfeei Extras out. Thank you, and goodbye.